Welcome. You are now watching BossLady News, highlighting businesses, nonprofits, events, talent. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Britt Johnson.
Thank you for staying tuned to BossLady News. I appreciate you guys. We've got an amazing show for you, as usual. And today we're going to be speaking on our Realty Time with someone who's going to talk a little bit more about life insurance and what it means to all the homeowners and future homeowners. Like we usually do, let's go ahead and clap Cuban Mike on in. Cuban Mike, why don't you come on out?
Oh, boy.
Hey.
What up? Oh.
Please have a seat.
Oh, you bought me a table this time.
I got a new table.
All right, good. I feel extra professional now.
I know, right?
Oh,
but it might not stay, so.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. What's going on?
What's going on? What's the buffoonery going on?
Well, last episode we left off here. I made a hashtag saying give Cuban Mike 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes.
And I'm gonna pump it up to like the next episode. Give Cuban Mike extra 2 more minutes if I could get my stuff going.
Hashtag 2 more minutes.
There we go. There we go. So yes, crazy week. The talk of the town has been Lizzo. You know, if you've been hiding under a rock, you know, she caused a lot of controversy when she was at a Lakers game and had this outfit.
No, but was that real? That was real?
It went viral. It went viral for all the wrong reasons.
I thought it was fake. I told people, we kept saying, this is fake. That's wrong what they're doing. This is fake.
Yeah, so it happened. She went viral for all the wrong reasons because it caused a lot of controversy because it was like, you know, how can you do that? It's a sports event. There's kids involved, et cetera, et cetera. She's doing it for attention, and also because of what she looks like, you know, it was like the whole fat shaming thing.
She's a full-figured woman.
Yeah, so.
And basically the picture is that she, her whole backside.
The whole backside, her whole
I
cheek
thought
was
it was fake.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, I saw it, you know, I thought she was doing a little bit too much because it was not just that. Like, you know, they threw her song on, she started twerking. The team that she had behind it was making it rain around her. So she was just being a little bit too extra.
Yeah.
And she made a video about it, being very unapologetic about it. And, you know, just when you think that it's about to be shut down, just 24 hours ago, Time Magazine put on the front cover as Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah, but see, I think what they're doing is encouraging and almost taking black people backwards to that whole buffoonery,
like the whole mammy thing,
that whole laugh and dance, and hyping that up.
Yeah, so I think we kind of created a monster, but at the same time, she's laughing at the bank. So it's like, I mean, I had my own 2 cents about it. I had a conversation behind the scenes with my sister. We were going back and forth. She killed me. I didn't care. If you know me, I had no filters around the conversation, so I said what I had to say. So
at the end of the day, I would be honest in saying, you know, full-figured women, they take pride in what they look like, and I think she made full-figured women who care about what they look like, they care about what they wear, and you know, yeah, it's great to be, you know, busty right now. Any figure is okay as long as you love yourself,
I guess.
But when they take it and unfortunately a white society that says, no, this is what's in, this is what's cool, and now you're going to have generations that are going to feel like this is what I should be doing.
And it also feels though like her antics is kind of overshadowing her talent,
right?
Because she is a talented person.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she got #1 hits, et cetera, et cetera. So I think more like her antics is outshowing more the performance that she would actually do. So
yeah. What else we got going on?
Got to beef with your girl Oprah, your hero.
What?
Yes, your girl Oprah. Well, she's doing a special. I believe is on. I want to say it was Bill Cosby. She's doing a special on. You know, of all the. Don't quote me on that, but it was a black figure. It's a black figure. And, you know, the black community is coming at her again because this is the second time she made a special on a black man, you know, with all the controversy regarding rape. If you remember a couple of months ago, she did something on Michael Jackson when she brought the victims out. And prior to that, she did something before she had the whole thing with the whole Central 5 thing because she played, you know, a big role around it behind the scenes. You know, before they were exonerated, she kind of had a thing with them when she brought the accuser and made men look bad prior to that. That was like last decade. So now she's doing it another prominent figure. And I believe 50 Cent and Russell Simmons went at her on Instagram, be like, hey, why is he always do all these things regarding black men and their old, you know, cases, et cetera, et cetera. But you got your boy Harvey, and you got Kevin Spacey, and you got Epstein, which I'm pretty sure she has a work connection around them. Like, how come we don't see a special amongst them? So that was pretty interesting. And it's one of those things that make you go,
yeah. It's unfortunate, you know, There's the powers that be, and it might be her time to start calling people out in
Yeah.
her own community
Yes.
because she's gotten such ahead of people. And I still love you, Oprah.
Yeah, well, he has got to
Still
fix
love
that up.
I want to make sure, because I was actually watching a report last night, and they were saying how news was not putting enough attention on the fact that our current president is being impeached.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. I've been seeing every minute least. I've been on every channel where I go at, so I've been staying tuned to that.
I've been hearing that it's always the last story. It's always the last few minutes where people are talking about the impeachment of the president, and a lot of people don't understand why he's being impeached. It's not like former President Clinton where he was having some sexual things going on.
Yeah.
This is more revolving around what a president can and can't do, especially when it comes to business.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that people in our community know that if this president gets away with what he's trying to do in terms of being a president and being a businessman and having business overseas, then any other president that comes in that has a business background is going to do the exact same thing.
Reach on it. Yeah, man. So, happy news.
Happy news.
Okay.
Ready for it.
All right. This couple in Africa, this man who proposed to his lady at a KFC, the video went viral. He proposed to his lady. And of course, you have the ignorant fools and the ignorant internet saying, well, how can you propose to your wife? You're supposed to be wife at a KFC. It's so tacky. It proves how men are so broke. You're going to suffer as a woman because this man proposed to you at a KFC. So it was kind of like, he had his little bullies. And mind how the tables have turned. KFC saw what happened on the situation, and they found the couple, and they said, look, we applaud y'all. We thank y'all for proposing at our restaurant. So for our gratitude, we want to pay for your wedding.
Woo! Hey!
Yeah. It doesn't stop there. McDonald's got in contact with the people, and they say, look, we saw what happened, and you guys proposed at this supposedly restaurant or whatever, and we want to pay for your honeymoon. Doesn't stop there.
Wow.
Puma got involved, and they said, look, we saw what happened amongst you with the internet and stuff like that, so we want to pay, here's a $5,000 gift card for Puma. Get whatever you need. And there's been a floodgate of all these companies. This bank in Africa showed up, and they said, look, if you guys need a home for a mortgage or whatever the case may be.
Of course, come back to Africa.
Yeah, man. So salute. I mean, T-Mobile offered them a phone, a free phone.
The power of the internet is just amazing. And the fact that people can do something on social media and make it go viral, and shout out to the businesses that are recognizing people and are recognizing that they need to give back. There are more major corporations that need to give back, and that's important. So I'm gonna kick you off in a bit, because I have Brent Harding, who's gonna give us a brief network tidbit that we need to prepare ourselves for. And I've got a short interview, but so important, with a young man that's gonna tell us a little bit about life insurance. So you guys, say bye to Cuban Mike.
Peace, y'all. See you next time. Love y'all.
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
Harding from Brent S. Harding with your networking moment. Networking is something that should be done year-round. However, there are Brent S. Harding here from Brent S. Harding Company, providing training, consulting, and coaching. And today, it's your coaching moment around networking. Networking is something that should be seasonal. Why? Because there are so many holidays that you can tie into that networking experience. Here's the idea, the strategy. There are times when you want to be visible, and then tie that with social media. So people see you at different occasions and burst it out. You want to have some personal occasions where it's just friendly, and then you want to have some business occasions where people are seeing you. You kind of want to have your paparazzi moment, and then you want to have your business moment. Networking is about connecting, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in, but in particular, if you're in sales, if you're in marketing, if you're in some place that it is necessary for you to be visible, then you want to be live networking, at least one event per week, 4 events a month. Maybe you need to start with 1, but ultimately, you want to get to 4 events every single month. It benefits you, it benefits your company. And here's something that's really powerful about networking. It's how you show up. How do you show up? No matter what, show up business style. My dad used to always say, you can always take it off, but you can't put on something you don't have with you. You can always take off the tie, fellas, take off the jacket, fellas. Ladies, nice blouse, you can take off your jacket, throw it over your shoulder, but always show up from a business perspective, because people see you a certain way. With that being said, it's Brent S. Harding, and this has been your networking moment.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. You guys know you can always contact me. My email is bossLadyNews@gmail.com. And now for our realty time, I wanted you to get to meet a gentleman I got a chance to meet, and he's going to tell us a little bit about life insurance. Rhodes Pierre. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Mwah.
Ooh, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Please have a seat.
Oh, wow.
So the reason I'm having you on
Yes.
for my realty time segment, where I really kind of get people into that frame of mind where they're thinking about real estate, they're thinking about their opportunities, they're thinking about building their wealth.
Yes.
And along with that, I feel like it's very important that people also think about life insurance and protecting themselves and their families.
Absolutely.
So that's why I wanted to have you on today.
Thank you for having me on. You know, it's one of the things that I'm happy to talk about, you know, because it's one of the realms of my expertise. And this is how I do what I do is I help people every day in making such decisions.
Right.
And one of the things that we do is help people plan. And with insurance, life insurance, we're helping them prepare. We don't predict the future. We're just helping them prepare for it. And
Right.
you know, so we just kind of ask people the questions. And then in the realty aspect, just like a transition in life and like where they are taking on a new responsibility, such as like if they were having kids or they were getting married,
Right.
you know, that's part of a transition in life where they should kind of like review their coverage.
Right.
And then so if someone does purchase a home, it's recommended that they kind of like speak to someone like me and then kind of review like, okay, the contract for the mortgage, and then let's just, you know, and then just be prepared again.
So for people that currently have homes
Yes.
or that are looking to purchase property in the future, they can
Absolutely.
actually secure their property in a life insurance as well?
No, well, no. What they're doing is like in case like the person is the breadwinner, the family, the person. Let's just say, because the mortgage is under their name, if they were no longer there, you know, as the breadwinner or the person that would provide the income or and the monies for the mortgage, you're ensuring that their life, if they're no longer there, that money replaces their ability.
money.
Yes.
Okay.
You know. So like if you think of life insurance as like it's a way of like basically insuring your health, because you know.
You never know what can happen.
Yeah, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. You know, you can't predict the future, and so it's better to be prepared. And that's actually your biggest asset is your health. You know, it's not
Right.
it's not your house, it's not your car.
It's your health.
Yeah, it's your health, your ability to be able to earn and go out. Because even if you had all the money in the world, if you're stuck in a hospital bed,
Right.
you know, it's like you're not going to be able to enjoy it. You know, so it's like
Right.
it's really like the simple pleasure things, but really it's your health that's like the most important thing.
And I know people are always trying to determine which one's better, the term life insurance, the whole life insurance, and we never really understand the difference between the two.
Okay.
What is the difference between whole life insurance, term life insurance?
All right. So that's a very good question, and it is something that a lot of people do ask about. And in the way we try to break it down in a couple of analogies, it's like think of like whole life as something that you own and you buy, and think of term as something as you rent and that you have temporarily.
Okay.
Although with term, it's a sort of like policy that has certain years where it's guaranteed to have a certain number, to be a certain number of dollars, but after a certain number of years, the price will climb astronomically, exponentially.
Yeah.
So it becomes unaffordable.
For term.
Yes, for term later
Okay.
on. It's like, okay, if you rented in the neighborhood and all of a sudden the neighborhood
The
gets
rent
gentrified.
goes up.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Oh, you can't afford to be here, bye-bye, you gotta
Right,
go.
right.
All right, well, if you own, you got a mortgage, the mortgage, no matter what, for 30 years or
It's
15,
fixed.
yeah, it's fixed. And it's like, it's not gonna go up, but you own it. And afterwards, you also, you have equity that you can build into
Right.
it and stuff,
So whole life insurance is ownership.
yes, it's ownership. Yes.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
yes, it's there for the long haul, and it's there when you need it and stuff. So while term is there, like I said, it's rent, it's temporary, so you can have it for a 10-year, 20-year, or 30-year term, but after the term's limit is up, the price jumps up and it becomes unaffordable for a lot of
Unaffordable, wow.
So,
I know there's,
but they both have their uses and their
Their
purpose.
advantages,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. So, it's like, again, for the time period that you need it, and then for...
so how in depth can I get? Because, so I'm a wealth builder. That's
No,
my
that's-
excitement in my
so,
space,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'm always trying to encourage people to understand where and how they can protect their wealth.
Absolutely.
Can you put a life insurance, if you have an LLC,
Yes.
can you put your life insurance in that LLC?
I-
Or
I-
would you have to move it into a trust?
Okay, those again are very interesting questions and
Okay.
everything, and they're based upon your specifically upon the situation and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve.
Okay.
So those are something that would sit down with a client, actually discuss more personally, and find out in depth what is going on.
Okay.
And again, so it's best to work with a planner. It's always because it's like a real estate broker, like just like you did Realty Time. It's a professional. You work with them. Just like with the life insurance agent, it's a professional, you're working with them, and they're working with you to make sure that you have the best outcome in the future.
So let's say me, for example, because I'm trying to be like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, and the rest of them.
Absolutely.
And I would love to be my family's bank.
Yes.
And I do have life insurance
Yes.
with New York Life.
Okay, okay.
And how can I, in my death,
Yes.
be able to protect the money so that my children and grandchildren can benefit from that?
Okay, so again, by working with a planner, an attorney, you can lay out things in a will, and then you can set things up in a trust. And then those legal entities and those strategies help basically define how you're able to maintain and build the wealth in the future.
Okay.
And then things we work with people, we provide educational seminars at churches, libraries, schools, and we try to get the word out for financial literacy. As a matter of fact, I'm on the board of IFSI,
Okay.
which is the Immigrant Family Service Institute.
Okay.
Just want to give them a plug. We're looking for a home.
Well, I can help with that.
Yeah. Well, it's we're a nonprofit.
And you're looking for a commercial space.
We're looking for a commercial space, so we're looking for
Here
office.
I am.
Okay, awesome.
I
No,
can
we'll
help
talk
with
about
that.
this. Yes, office space and also classroom space, and maybe performance space built into it as well.
Cool, okay.
So so definitely. So part of the thing is it's like financial literacy is something that we're trying to push with the immigrant population as well. I mean, it's needed all over, but it's definitely so people can understand that there are benefits, living benefits to having life insurance. It's not just about the death benefit, and it's about again being able to transfer that wealth and grow that wealth to the next generation.
Right.
You know.
And one thing you also mentioned was the will and
Yes.
the importance of having a will. And
Yes.
too many people in our community are not prepared
Absolutely.
with having a will. Even
Yes.
if you're 19 years old, you can
Yes.
have a will.
Absolutely.
And just to kind of really touch base with some of the young people that have street business, you can have a will as well if your money is protected. But one question I just wanted to touch base on, we only have a couple minutes left, is when people are purchasing their life insurance, oftentimes they're afraid because they feel like, I can't do anything with this. But with a whole life insurance, you can also use that in your life.
There are different aspects of it. They're living benefits, as they say. And again, like if you sit down with an agent, they'll explain it to you. But with a whole life, it has a aspect of it called cash value, and it builds in a cash value inside the policy. And after a certain number of years of owning the policy, it is vested where you, as an owner of the policy, can borrow or withdraw certain funds from it. And again, you can return it. So it's like it's a concept called banking on yourself, or
banking on yourself,
or using yourself as a bank.
Right.
So.
Good. We're going to have to go, but I know I need to have you back on. I'm sure the viewers have a lot of questions, and they're going to be sending their questions to myself and to you. Okay. So how can people get in touch with you?
Okay, well, again, my name is Rhodes, Pierre, and they can definitely get a hold of me by phone, 781-588-0820. That's Massachusetts, local number. But again,
and your email?
Yes, it's Rhodes or rpierre02 at ft.nyl.com. I'll keep it simple, rhodes.pierre@gmail.
Gotcha, there we go.
Yeah, rhodes.pierre@gmail.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We are going to have you back, okay?
Please do.
We will.
All right.
And I want to thank you guys for watching Boss Lady News. You know you can catch me every Friday at 6 p.m. right here at BNN, Comcast Channel 23, RCN Channel 83, Verizon Channel 1916. And if you don't have any of those, check out the website, bnnmedia.org, Fridays at 6 p.m. Thank you. So now we're going to get a chance to speak with Alex E. Edwards. I know you guys know him.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm all right.
So, for my audience, right, any new people that might not know much about Mr. Alex E. Edwards, you are the person that kind of led me into being comfortable with wanting to become a real estate agent. And now we are on Realty Time.
Oh, yeah.
So, Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself and what really got you into real estate.
So I'm a real estate broker at Thumbprint Realty. What got me into real estate, I was in college for business administration, and my professor said, go home and treat something like a business. Buy something and run it like a business. And at 20, I bought a home.
At 20 years old, you bought a home.
I bought a home and a multifamily. So I was like, I'm a landlord, I'm excited. And I go back to school and say, Professor, guess what? He said, what, Alex? Guess what I bought? What, Alex? I bought a house. Oh my, you bought a house? Yep, I'm gonna run it like a business. Oh, he's amazed. So I said, guess what else? He said, what? This is the last time you're gonna see me because I can't pay for education and this mortgage. And that's the last time he seen me.
Wow, okay.
That was it.
Okay.
That was my school career was over.
Wow.
My college career. So.
And
Best
fast
decision
forward, right, fast forward, it was the best decision ever for you. And not just that, you have been able to encourage more and more young people to find their interest in real estate. And not just real estate, but in ownership. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, real estate changed my life. It made my life, it saved my life, changed my life, it made my life beautiful. The opportunity to do anything I want, the opportunity to travel the world and not worry about my finances. I'm never going to reach the glass ceiling. No one's going to tell me how much I can make. I could constantly buy homes over and over and over. And I could teach the same formula to my son, to young folk. The thing is, I grew up in Phil's Corner. I didn't see anyone that was positive that I wanted to be like. I didn't see anyone really too positive. So we was taught one thing, and if there's not a lot of resources in the neighborhood, of course we're gonna learn what not to do because people's teaching us what not to do. So I think and then the people that's doing the right thing, they just don't have no swag. They look boring, nerds, and you don't want to be them, you know? And so now, you know, I make a conscious effort to always relate to the younger folks, if it's how I dress, how I speak, and how I greet them, so they could say, you know what, that man's cool. I want to be like him. I wonder what he does, you know, instead of the drug dealer on the corner or something. I have swag like a drug dealer. You could be just like me, but I'm doing stuff that's legal,
Right.
you know, and I'm making more money than drug dealing. So
You don't have to worry about nobody taking it.
exactly. So I think we need that in our neighborhood to change, because young people follow the glitter, right? The glitter. They that's what amuses them. So we got to kind of sometimes, as professionals, tone ourselves down just to relate, so they could follow something positive.
Right. And typically, you know, people are adults are multifaceted, right? I've been taught, you know, you have your conversations or your street slang, right, with your friends, and you've got your family slang, you know, certain words you can't say around moms or dad or grandparents, right? The art of the chameleon.
Yep.
And you've got your business swag also. And what most young people don't realize is there's a time and a place for everything, but how you present yourself is what is going to drive people to want to work with you. And how I literally, Darren's in there now, he remembers our conversation. We went into an AutoZone, and the young guy behind there said, I want to dress like that. He didn't know what Darren did at the time. He just knew he wanted to dress like this man that was in front of him. And it was, you know, it
was amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Darren.
So more young people finding out about you, I feel like, is what's important. And oddly enough, in this property ownership, one thing you had bubble up to the top that I'm like, okay, maybe he's right. There's more and more women that are interested in the property ownership.
Women rock. Women are beautiful. The strongest being in the world. I love women. I love women. And I love women. I think you guys deserve a lot more respect in this world. You carry us. Without women, you're looking at a man that's nothing without women. So, and they bossing all the way up. They are buying more a single man versus a single woman is blowing a single man out the water with purchasing real estate.
Wow.
Organize, know what you want, and you know how to get it. Yeah, my type of queen.
Kudos to all the ladies out there, as this is Women's Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And when it comes to ownership, I know a lot of people, they're afraid of jumping into that. And what I think the difference with women is, you know, it's like, hey, you just got to do it because we got to take care of the family.
Or yeah, have a bit more focus.
Is that it?
I mean, more focus, and again, a little more organized, and you know exactly what you want, and you just go get it. I guess it's special. It's just, you guys are special.
Yeah.
It's special.
And don't get him wrong. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
Like a full unit takes both, right? It takes the father in the family, in the household. It takes the mom in the family, participating and being there, not just on social media taking pictures.
So I'm talking single. So now we put a single woman and a single man together that both have their mind right and going attacking real estate. That's phenomenal. I told my wife, before I say I do, you have to say you closed.
Before you finish that story, because I want to make sure everyone hears that story about Alex and Joanna, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Brent Harding here again. Previously, I spoke to you about being memorable when you're networking. I am your networking guru from BrentSHarding.com. So how do you become memorable to somebody? We talked about gift giving. And what that means is giving somebody something that is not the typical, something that's going to surprise them, something that's going to make you come back to mind day after day and week after week. How many of you travel? How many of you like to travel, want to be able to travel outside of the country? I've had the privilege of traveling to 58 countries and living abroad in China. And if you like to travel, then here's an exclusive on Boss Lady News. We are giving away a travel site to one of you in the audience, and it's DIY. It's going to have your name on it. You do everything yourself. It is going to be the best pricing, and you're going to be able to do comparatives. So instead of paying retail, you are going to be paying discounted, and in some cases, you're going to be paying wholesale. Oh, yeah, Brent, I've heard that before. Well, guess what? Now you get to test us out and find out if it's real. So it's happening here exclusively on BossLady News. You need only go up and send me an email, and that is to Brent at BrentSHarding.com. That's BRENT at BRENTSHARDING.com. And I will reach out to you, and we will set up your site. And then I'm going to be looking for you to be traveling with us in 2020, because we are going to 2 locations. We're going to Dubai and we're going to Australia. So you have plenty of time to bring the money together. And here's the important part. You are going to be saving, and you will remember me for life. Why? Because I've given something to you, the gift that keeps on giving. Now, today we're going to hear even more about those gifts, but exclusively on BossLady News. Until we meet again, I am wishing you much in travel and gift giving and networking, because now you have something powerful to give away. Till next time.
Have always said multiple times that you had to, what was the slogan you used?
Before I say I do, my wife had to say I close.
Right.
Yep.
Say it one more time.
Before I say I do, my wife had to say I close.
Now tell everybody what that meant and the significance of that.
The number one reason why people get divorced or couples get divorced are finance, right? Finance is just the biggest issue. Not having enough money or being upset, coming home frustrated. It's just a
snowball effect.
Yeah, it's just an issue, right?
Yeah.
So I figured, let's figure that out before we get married. I have homes, you buy a home, then we're not gonna figure what's there to argue about when it comes to financing. And it worked out tremendously. I mean, we practically live for free.
Right. I just want people to understand what you're saying. So before you guys were married, you had properties, and you wanted to make sure that your oncoming wife had properties, had money of her own also.
Well. Yep.
And what I think is so powerful about that is you're putting money in her pocket by making sure that she's got money in her pocket. And then you guys got married, and you became this powerhouse.
Yep. And then last year we bought 3 homes, and we wanted to step our goals up. And so this year, right now, we have 2 homes under agreement for the family.
Wow.
Yep. And then we're building a condo complex on Stanton Street called the Carter.
The Carter.
After our son.
So when I heard about that, I was like, okay, Britt, you got to step up your game, right? You got to figure this out. And I think for myself and many people, because dealing with the numbers of property ownership is so above what we're used to, right? We're not used to six zeros. We're not used to 6-digit figures. And what I've been really playing around with in my head, because I want to talk to more young people and I want to speak to the parents, is we encourage our children to become athletes. We encourage our children, oh, they're good at dancing or performing. Become a dancer, become a rapper, become a singer. But we don't encourage our children to figure out where you can also get money without having to do those things. Mary J. Blige lives on the same block as 5 doctors. She made it known that she is an artist. That's where she got her money. But these doctors and these real estate people that live on her street, they don't have to do what she does.
I mean, one, you definitely want to follow your passion. I think that's very important. But 2, I think we focus on age and success too much. It's almost, you have to wait for us to be a certain age to become successful. I don't believe in that at all. I mean, you could become successful at 5, you could become successful at 7, at 10. And as parents, we have to allow our kids, tell our kids that. Don't wait till you're 18. Don't wait until you graduate college or no, let's become successful now. What do you like doing now? Let's turn it into a business right now, right away, and not base it on age. I dislike that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like that a lot. Like, just focus on the success and focus on the passion of your child, not the age.
That's
because
so powerful.
their children are incredible, and they're younger than you are. So they're gonna solve problems in the world, for the world at that age, because they're actually going through it.
Right.
A lot of wealthy people say, when I was younger, I had a lot of dreams, no money. When I was older, I had no dreams, a lot of money. Because they're not in that everyday hustle, that everyday life now, and trying to figure out what the world needs. They on top. So our kids is right there. They're gems.
Right.
They know what the world are into right now. They know what the world loves. I just think I don't like the age comparison. I just don't like the age boundaries at all.
Right. So let's get rid of those age boundaries. Let's change the narrative around when your child has to go to college. I am my
be successful.
oldest.
When our child has to be.
When our child has to be successful. Yeah. My oldest is getting ready to head out to school.
No.
And I put no requirements except that, long term, I want her to do better than I did. I have my bachelor's. Said right now, I want you to know what you want to do, because when you leave from school, there's a main focus I want you to start putting your business into. However, she also knows that she's getting a condo and she's going to be renting out a room, because mommy ain't going to have to pay for tuition. She's going to have her roommate paying for that tuition.
I agree 100%.
I think I learned that from you.
Yeah, I don't like the statement better than you. Your child's going to be better than you. I think we should make it very hard to compete with their parents. Like, you could be better than me, but I'm going to make it very hard, Carter. Because I'm going to beat you, but you want to beat me. So we having this battle, we both want to be good.
Right.
And that's with my wife. Do you care if your wife make more money? Yes and no. If she makes more money than I do, I'm more competitive. I'm going to be a little bit more competitive. Like, no, I don't want that to happen. Then she beats me. Then I beat her. Then it just, honestly, we do this constantly, and it just makes our family better, our financial life better, health amazing. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, you guys, we're not going away, and Alex isn't going anywhere. He's going to be part of our tutorial with Miss Lily. So you guys are going to take a brief PSA, and when we come back, Leandra is going to show us how to do some gift giving to some of our clients. We'll be right back.
These hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool. Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terra cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
Totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah, that's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope
bad
we
day.
don't have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me, okay? But remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education.
I dare you to be somebody important.
Like be a teacher. Or a reality TV star. I dare you to stand up here. To call the shots.
To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life? Make me excited about science like you?
Have a career that really means something?
Then do it.
I dare you.
So now I know we had a few more, things going on out there in the news. And while Miss Lily's setting some things up, I'm like the chocolate. I can't wait to play around with that chocolate. But Cuban Mike, let's talk about a few more things going on.
Of course. Michael Jackson, they had a documentary about him, Never Leaving Neverland, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I had no interest of watching it.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. It bought big viewerships on HBO. It's about these two guys that said allegedly Michael Jackson sexually abused them. One by the name of Ray Robinson. He was a choreographer before. And it's very interesting because when he went to trial in 2003, he testified saying that he never did none of these things.
Right.
And now, X amount of years later, he's back saying that he did those kind of things. The family, the Jackson estate, tried to shut it down. Now they're trying to go on a lawsuit with HBO for $100 million for defamation or whatever the case may be. I don't believe it. Maybe it could be my biased part about it, but there's a lot of inconsistency in the story.
And I'm still trying to understand why individuals that have been molested by Michael are still trickling out, as if there's this like conspiracy to keep this forever happening.
Yeah.
To keep bubbling it up to the top. Like if you look up Michael, these things will pop up, but it's like, okay, now 10 years later, we've got somebody new. So in another 10 years, or two more people. Another 10 years, we're going to have two more people.
And it's going to keep going like that. Interesting enough, his nephew and his brother had an interview, and they actually said that kind of stuff is going to be trickling down because it's all about money.
Right.
The guys say that they didn't get paid for the documentary, but you get paid elsewhere. It's like the equivalent of a mixtape.
Right, interviews.
You drop a review, you get interviews, you get a lot of stuff about that. And the interview was kind of funny because I actually thought about you because you're like the conspiracy queen.
Listen.
And his nephew was talking about, when this all happened, and it's a possibility he could have gotten killed. Not the way, the whole prescription thing, that it was actually a murder because he had a catalog worth $1 billion. His masters. He owned the Beatles catalog. But he also said something very interesting. Not only did he own the Beatles, but he owned everything that Sony had. So 50% of Writers Publishing or any album that was out, whether it was from a soundtrack movie, I found out he owned a piece of Babyface catalog.
Oh, wow.
Somehow he thugged out his way and got Eminem's catalog, so he owns a piece of that.
And Eminem, didn't him and Michael do something together?
No, he actually did a song dissing Mike, and Mike's revenge was like, okay, you diss me, I'm taking a piece of your catalog. So he kind of so it's one of those things that he outsmarted everybody.
Yeah.
And one of the things that his nephew was talking about was that, when he was on his paranoid, well, not paranoid because it eventually happened, he kept saying, they're trying to kill me for my catalog. Years later, I guess last year, they sold the catalogs that he had. I think it was worth $800 million. He let that go. He still got his master, but everything he had from Sony bought it back for $800 million.
I wonder if there's any way where they can put a cutoff on this. And not to say that I don't, and I'm not saying that I don't believe people. What I'm saying is after a certain amount of time, if they felt as if this happened to them, they should come out, and after a certain amount of time, some kind of statute of limitation.
Well, the interesting
they
about that.
They want to bleed the family.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about that, like technically speaking, the dudes, they purged themselves out. It was perjury because they say in court that he never did this stuff, and then years later, Now they're saying he did, so technically speaking, in court, he kind of did perjure himself on behalf of Michael.
Wow.
But I guess in California, they do have a statute of limitation that X amount of years, it doesn't hold it against you. So that's something that popped out. Interestingly enough, Oprah's getting flack because she decided to interview the guys right after the documentary. So she's getting a lot of flack because it's like you got their side of the story, but you're not getting the Jackson side as part of the story.
So I'm just going to update y'all real quick, right?
Yeah.
A friend of mine that I used to go to school with at Cathedral is creating a documentary. One of the cousins is speaking out and saying that he was offered $2 million to say that his children were molested by Michael.
Really?
And because he was family, he's like, no, why would I even do that? So he literally has this document. And you guys know I've had a couple Jackson family members make their way through BossLady News. Shout out to them, you know, Geppetto Jackson. Shout out to Austin Brown. And now my name bubbled up to the top again. They want me to interview this gentleman. It's going to be streamed in because he's in San Francisco. So it'll be interesting to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
But people are being offered money to say that this stuff happened.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to say that it's not true.
Yeah, and another thing about Oprah, she, you know, as much as I hate, you know, the whataboutism when somebody gets caught about something about, you know, he did this, what about these people doing that? She's getting a lot of flack because, you know, she was boys with Harvey, Harvey Weinstein. And there's a lot of females out there that do got a story to tell. And she never brought them to the show, and she never did all this stuff. As to the case, you know, we're going after a dead man who can't defend himself.
Right.
So I understand that Michael's worth money, whatever the case may be, but this is one of those whataboutism that gets to be justified.
Right.
There's a lot of women out there that have been, you know, raped and abused, whatever the case may be, from Harvey.
So, you know, you guys
interesting.
can stay tuned, you know, to me, to any of the things going on in social media. But also remember that social media is not the only place to get real news. You know, sometimes you got to do some reading.
Pick up a book.
Pick up a book and find out what's going on out there. We're going to hop on over. I'm seeing you. Bye-bye. Because there's some chocolate over there with Miss Lily setting up. And Mr. Alexi Edwards, you're going to join us? Yeah, you can go that way. Go that way. Lily, how are you?
Hey,
Mwah.
how you doing?
I'm so excited to have you, and the reason that I'm having Alex join us, come on over here, Alex, is because I have always wanted to really start giving back to my clients, and I think it's always awesome, some of the decorations that you've been able to do. Everything from this amazing iced out piece of wine glass here to, you know, here's a nice little cookie gift that people can do for their clients, and see how she's placed her business card on it. That's absolutely perfect. These are just some awesome items that you decorated.
Yes.
And it's always very inexpensive, but creative.
Right.
So you're going to show us how to do something a little sweet for some of those ladies that are out there buying.
Right. So the first thing we want to do, we're going to do strawberries. Going back to giving, marketing, branding, you know, great way to do that first when you are doing something like this. Get your bags together, have your business cards, you know, how I did the cookies.
Right.
You know, tape it on, glue it on, staple it on. You
I
know,
love
it's a great
that.
way to say thank you.
Yeah.
You know, something like this, though, you would give right then and there to your client. You wouldn't put in the mail. Okay?
I would try. And then somebody come, hey, somebody ate my chocolates. It was the mailman.
Well, for TV purposes, okay, normally this is not how you kind of clean strawberries. I have a thing on my Instagram on how you clean strawberries properly before you even make them.
Okay.
Oh, so you got to clean them?
Yeah,
I usually just buy them.
No, there's a prep.
You're supposed to clean everything
You
off.
always clean
I
everything.
taste it before
I
I
have
buy
a
it.
food solution that I do to clean them. You know, you want to get all like pesticides and stuff they have on. Just because it says organic, still clean them.
That's right.
Okay, so you always make sure, since we're working with chocolate, we got to work quickly.
Should I
the
mix?
Chocolate will seize.
Okay.
Yeah, you can mix a little bit.
I'm going to mix this.
You know, always make sure your strawberries are always dry. Okay? Always make sure they're dry. If they're wet, they'll cause the chocolate to seize. Water should never hit chocolate. It messes the whole consistency up. Goes into science.
Okay.
Okay?
Do you want me to do something?
Right now, we're about to do now. What we're going to do, to the side. You see how I did this? Okay, we're gonna put 2 toothpicks in each strawberry. Put it right there in the tip.
Okay.
Just stick it in. This is great for the guys to do too. Learn how to properly do it all the way. That's good. Another one.
So any of the men out there or anybody out there, if you want to do something sweet for the person in your life, or if you do have a customer or client that's just been there for you, right? They're always supporting you. They're always coming out to your events. And how do you keep people coming? How do you keep them satisfied?
And being memorable.
And being memorable. That's right. So Leandra's always memorable because she always bring like pretty stuff onto the set.
Okay. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're working really quickly here. Some things we've cut out.
And Alex is really good at marketing. I see all the marketing stuff that comes in and flyers and things. This is something else that you can give to your customers.
Can you put my name on the strawberries or no?
You could put an A.
No, you could probably draw an A if you're that good. What you want to do?
Thumbprint?
Yeah. You're gonna take. See, I'm grabbing the stems right here, and you're gonna take it, and this is where the toothpicks come into handy. And you just dip it in there. Shake it out. So it don't be so excessive. And then what you want to do is, the trick is, take it and push it. So you don't have that much pudding.
Got you.
Okay, and if it puddles, pick it back up and put it into another area. Now this is a silicone mat, but you can also use parchment paper, aluminum foil. But you just can't sit it on any type of surface because it would adhere and mess up.
Wow.
Okay, so you can try that.
So we're going to
yourself.
continue doing these, and you guys, you can head on over to my Facebook page, and you will see the final results of our chocolate dipping with Miss Lily. Lily, how can they get in touch with you?
Or you can call me at 781-510-9985. Again, 781-510-9985. You can email me at information@llccreates.com.
Don't make a mess, Alex.
Or you can hit me up on my website at www.llc.com.
Thank you.
Yep, push. There you go. See, that's it. Look how beautiful that looks.
That looks beautiful.
You can do another one.
What do we do with this?
This right here, if you want to add a little design to it, you do some little chocolate. You can color your chocolate. Do the little snip. Get a piping bag. Take your. So you want your chocolate to settle first, and then you just.
Britt don't know nothing about this, you know.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a professional over here.
You can add your sprinkles.
You know what I'm saying? I went to
you can do all kinds of things. Makes it really pretty and romantic. You can also go to my Instagram page. I have a bunch of strawberries on there. You can see the designs.
What's the Instagram page?
It's Lily Creations Instagram.
I just want to.
You know what? You got it? Yeah, just push it a little bit. That's it.
And I'll do the pretty.
Yeah, go quickly.